This is coming from the family, allegedly. If that is the case, y'all, do you think that baby came earlier? I'm just saying something's fishy. I don't know what it is, child, but something ain't right.
A month right after she left, Gypsy texted me a bunch of pregnancy tests and said she was pregnant. Okay, well, who's the father? And it could have been me or Ken at that point. So she didn't know. She was like, I don't know.
Bounce back. Watch me bounce back. If you think I'm taking losses, nah, I ain't bout that. If you see me take a time out, I'll be right back. I'm reloading with this passion, boy, I'ma bounce back.
Ryan Anderson has gone from a footnote in Gypsy Rose Blanchard's controversial saga to the center of swirling speculation. Following Gypsy's surprise announcement of her child's alleged birth on December 28th, Ryan's unsettling calm has sparked countless questions. Why hasn't he been more vocal online? What does his absence signify? The drama surrounding Gypsy's latest revelation has captivated online audiences, with Ryan's lack of rejoinder becoming the biggest mystery yet. Is his hush deliberate, or does it hint at something deeper? Rumors are flying, and theories abound as followers dissect every detail. From potential custody battles to the authenticity of the announcement itself, the internet is ablaze with speculation. Gypsy's choice to announce her child's birth on New Year's Day has only added fuel to the fire. Many believe the timing was no coincidence, designed to maximize attention and set the stage for what's shaping up to be her most talked-about chapter yet. But Ryan's absence leaves a gaping hole in the narrative. Could his silence signal a legal maneuver, a personal decision, or something even more shocking? Despite being at the center of the storm, or at least expected to be, Ryan hasn't uttered a single word since the last time we made a video on the topic, and his name hasn't been mentioned in connection to the situation. This radio silence is only fueling the gossip mill, with theories multiplying by the minute. Even Mia, during a recent live discussion, couldn't hide her confusion. "Ryan hasn't said a word. It's so weird," she admitted, echoing what everyone's been thinking. Why is he this quiet? It's almost like he's trying to distance himself from everything. With Ryan staying suspiciously tight-lipped, fans are left to fill in the blanks. Is this a calculated move to protect himself, or is it something deeper such as legal troubles? One thing is certain, his silence is louder than words, and the world is listening.
You know, Ryan being as quiet as he has been for this long is very weird. It's very sus.
Oh, and so Ryan hasn't said shit yet. He hasn't, so he still has.
He hasn't said nothing.
Interesting.
It was weird that there was no mention of the baby in the divorce decree. That's weird.
Well, I think.
Oh shit! See, I don't know. So they finally got their divorce.
Yeah. Well, I think
they are
you
divorced.
Don't say anything till after the baby's born.
The internet is in full speculation mode. Fans and critics alike are left wondering if this silence is a strategic move, or if it's unintentionally making him look worse. The timeline raising eyebrows suggests that Ryan could potentially be involved, though no concrete evidence has been presented. Still, the lack of clarification from his end has left the internet sleuths working overtime. Nina, one of the most vocal commentators on the matter, summed up the sentiment perfectly. Even if he's not involved, his silence doesn't help. It just makes everything look more suspicious. As the speculation grows, so does the frustration. This silence could have serious consequences for Ryan's reputation. In today's social media-driven world, silence often reads as guilt. And the longer he waits to address the rumors, the harder it may be to control the narrative. Whether he's choosing to ignore the chatter or simply doesn't know how to respond, the public is already forming their own conclusions.
She is high risk just because of her health history, how convoluted it is, and she's high risk. So when you have a high-risk pregnancy, typically what OBGYNs want to do is not have the person go into labor. They basically want to schedule a C-section so they can control that environment as much as they can to put less stress on the baby and less stress on the mother. Right. Especially now if that baby's got that microdeletion. The baby looked very small. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know if the baby has it or not. I have no idea. No idea. But if the baby does, that's another reason why they would plan a C-section.
While he's keeping a low profile, others are busy filling in the blanks. Some speculate he's waiting for legal clarity before making a move, while others believe he's dodging Gypsy's drama entirely. Either way, his decision to stay quiet has only fueled curiosity, and this silence feels calculated. What's really stirring the pot is the timeline. The dates in question align eerily well with a period when Ryan and Gypsy were allegedly still connected. Could this be a coincidence, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Fans are dissecting every detail, convinced that the overlap isn't random.
She's wanting to make it sound like it's a New Year's baby, but it's not. Even if I don't even know if I believe that the baby was born on the 28th of this month.
Wasn't the 28th the day she got out of jail?
Yes. They even mentioned that in the article. So it's the 1 year anniversary of her release from prison. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely had. She either A is lying about that or B had a C-section, because there's no way she just gave birth naturally on that day. I mean, what are the odds?
Is it just a really strange coincidence, or is the universe trying to send a message? I don't know if you guys believe in that kind of stuff, but think about it this way. 2 huge life events perfectly aligned. 1 year ago, she was released from prison, leaving behind a life of control. And now she's brought new life into this world. A little baby girl named Aurora Reyna Euchre, born at 9:48 a.m. on December 28th. Is this a sign that it was meant to happen? Like a full circle moment where her past, present, and future are all connected in some mysterious way. And I know some people think the date is just a little too interesting. Like, was it planned? Or is it really just that coincidental? The timing of it is just so wild to me. I can't stop thinking about it. Was it meant to be, or is this just a crazy coincidence? What do you guys think?
If the baby was conceived in March 2024, as suggested by the alleged due date of January 22nd, 2025, it coincides with the final stretch of Ryan and Gypsy's divorce proceedings. Fans are asking the big question, did Ryan know, and if so, how much? During a live discussion, Nina didn't hold back, calling the situation strange. She pointed out that if the baby's conception happened while Ryan and Gypsy were still technically married, it leaves plenty of room for speculation. Her exact words, if he's the father, why hasn't he stepped up? And if he's not, why hasn't he said so?
I think she had it back around the time with the book signing, because the online book signing, if you remember, she looked like she had been through the trenches in that online book signing. Yeah. She looked like somebody that had been up with a kid all night.
Yeah.
And she looked like that also when she did that online interview. Not that online interview, the interview with that lady.
Yeah.
And she sat down. But she had been looking, like, I think I remember even saying in the video, like, she looks like she's been pulling out her hair. I don't truly think she had that baby on the 28th. Because, like you said, the whole hacker thing, having to deal with that, going back and forth with TikTok, checking your notifications and your emails, and that's a lot to be dealing with. And would you give a damn about your TikTok account if you just gave birth? No.
According to reports, their divorce documents don't mention a child at all. A glaring omission that's left fans and experts scratching their heads. If Ryan had any knowledge of the pregnancy, you'd think it would have been addressed legally. The fact that it's not mentioned raises so many questions about whether he even knew. Adding fuel to the fire, some panelists speculated that Gypsy may have hidden the pregnancy from Ryan entirely. If he didn't know, that explains his silence now, one participant noted. But if he did know, why hasn't he said anything publicly? This whole situation is just messy. Then there's the timeline issue, which makes things even murkier. As Nina pointed out, the pregnancy's conception date doesn't just overlap with the couple's marriage. It falls right in the middle of it. That timing makes it so much harder to ignore, she emphasized. With no clear answers in sight, this divorce saga just keeps getting messier.
I don't know if it's for paternity or what, I don't know. But I do know that he has an attorney and she has an attorney. And so what's so funny is I found this out days ago, right? But I didn't want to say anything because I was like, well, why would he have an attorney already? And why would she have an attorney? And why would they be trying to figure out the logistics of everything if the baby's not here yet?
Right. Just real quick, some people had a question about the wristband.
People are asking why Gypsy Rose was wearing that many hospital bracelets, as we saw in the birth announcement photo. Now, I want to say what really matters is that Aurora was born healthy and Gypsy seems to be doing well. And it's not really our business to know what happened, but people are speculating on what the bracelets mean, and I thought I would share my opinion and experience. If I remember correctly, the 2 white bracelets mean one's for mom and one's for baby. The yellow bracelet indicates there's a fall risk. That's pretty standard. It's probably because of the epidural. Your legs are numb and you can't walk for a while after getting one. The red is to indicate some sort of allergy. That's not a big secret because you can see the word allergy on the bracelet. But no, we do not know what that allergy is. And the blue one, the one that everybody seems to be talking about. People think that it could be a clue as to why Aurora was born early. Obviously, babies can be born early. All 3 of mine were born early. 2 of my kids had to come early, 2 weeks early because of low amniotic fluid, and my second was born at 30 weeks due to preeclampsia. Yes, it was so bad that he had to be born 10 weeks early. There are many reasons Gypsy may have needed to give birth early, or maybe Aurora just decided she was ready to come into the world.
The lack of legal documentation, the eyebrow-raising timing, and Ryan's refusal to address the rumors have created a perfect storm of intrigue. Meanwhile, Gypsy's actions have been anything but subtle. From the alleged hacking scandal to her baby's birth announcement, many believe she's been pulling the strings to control the narrative. Critics didn't hold back during a recent panel discussion. Nina questioned the entire sequence of events, saying, "The hacking thing feels so convenient. Gypsy was supposedly in labor on the 28th, but she was also clapping back in the comments and setting up new TikTok accounts. It doesn't add up." Another panelist, Injustice for All, echoed the skepticism. How is it even possible? She claimed she was in labor but had the time and energy to be knee-deep in a hacking drama. The whole thing seems staged. As the whispers grow louder, the combination of Ryan's silence and Gypsy's dramatic moves continues to dominate social media.
Okay, hypothetically, she gave birth on the 28th. That means that while she was in labor, she was at the same time creating a new TikTok account in the comments, clapping back with people, desperately emailing TikTok and all this, trying to get her account back. What person does that when they're in labor? I guess Gypsy would, but none of it adds up to me. So I'm with you. I'm like, now I do wonder if I kind of lean towards this being a design distraction. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
After the controversial TikTok hack, as Gypsy claimed her account was hacked by a mysterious Turkish hacker right around the time she supposedly gave birth. Some critics are calling it a wild coincidence. Others say it's way too convenient to be believable. One panelist didn't hold back their skepticism, saying it's almost as if the hacking story was a calculated distraction. She has a history of misdirection, they remarked. It wouldn't be surprising if this was part of her plan. The timing has raised serious questions. Gypsy went from claiming her account was hacked to making a grand return just in time to drop the bombshell baby news. Nina didn't mince words either when she said, "The timing is suspicious. First, she says her account is hacked, then she's back like nothing happened, just in time to announce the baby. It feels orchestrated. Could this alleged hacking incident really be a diversionary tactic? Or is Gypsy just the victim of yet another online attack?"
In the state of Missouri, whatever happens to that child, they need to be held accountable. We can't worry about something we can't control. The state of Missouri allowed her, after 8 years after having her mother assassinated. No, it's on the state of Missouri. They should have done the right thing instead of letting a monster like her out and allow her monster of a stepmom and her trashy ass dad to have responsibility for her and the child. And then dumbass Ken goes ahead and have a baby by her. It's on the state of Missouri. That's something that they need to be sued for. After whatever happens, they need to be accountable for that.
Is Gypsy Rose going to be automatically involved with CPS? I've seen this question in the comments as well as commenters stating that they will, absolutely. However, the short answer is no. They will not become automatically involved with Gypsy Rose unless there is cause for concern by a mandated reporter. Think the hospital, parole when she checks in or they visit, or substantial reports from family and friends and even concerned citizens. Guys, this is straight from DCFS. This is straight from the parole board. And this is based on my professional experience. Also, here's a search. Gypsy doesn't have any conditions of parole where she can't be around children. Do I believe they might get involved? Yeah. Gypsy is concerned about this. She posted on IG that making a false report to CPS, DCFS is a crime. And allegedly, Christy is concerned as well. Keep in mind that allegedly a lot of her family doesn't think she's equipped for the situation. There are some rumors that Ken is very concerned as well. But all we can do right now is pray for the baby.
Is this hacking scandal too good to be true? The plot thickened when one panelist raised an eyebrow at the inconsistencies. The guy went live, sure, but the whole thing still felt off. Critics were quick to point out the strange details. Why was the alleged hacker speaking Turkish, showing locations in another country, yet somehow tying it all back to Gypsy? For some, the connections are just too convenient.
Much they made off of that. I don't know.
Quite a bit. Quite a fucking bit.
Probably. I'm not very I don't know how TikTok works. I don't know
Right.
how.
I mean, but
what
it was just
gifts
nonstop
people
for
throw
hours.
out. I'm sorry?
Nonstop, like gift for hours and hours and hours, you know?
Basically, all I know is that like roses or just like pennies not worth anything. That's pretty much all I know. But he was getting a lot of gifts and he was going wild. He was,
Yeah.
he was living it up. But I don't know, man. Now you got people saying that there's people on Ken's side of the family that are Turkish and shit. So I'll pray injustice for all of you. I'm glad he's here.
Theories about Ryan's silence are everywhere, and they all paint a different picture of his role, or lack thereof, in the drama. One popular idea: he's avoiding the chaos. Honestly, if I were him, I wouldn't want to be in this mess either, Nina said, echoing what many feel. But at the same time, his quiet approach is only making things more confusing. Then there's the legal angle. Some speculate that Ryan could be under a non-disclosure agreement, preventing him from speaking out. If there's something legal going on, it would explain the complete radio silence, said one commenter, adding that Ryan might just be waiting for the dust to settle. Others believe his silence is a sign of emotional detachment. After what sounds like a tumultuous relationship with Gypsy, Ryan might simply want to move on. This could just be Ryan's way of saying, "I'm done with this chapter of my life," one panelist remarked, although they admitted it's hard to say for sure. And then, of course, there's the paternity question. If Ryan suspects he might be the father, he could be holding off until he gets confirmation. On the flip side, if he's certain he's not, his silence could be his way of washing his hands of the drama entirely. As Nina put it, if he thinks there's a chance he's the father, he's probably waiting for solid proof. But if he's sure he's not, he's just letting this mess play out without him. The public's reaction to Ryan's silence is as divided as the theories themselves. Some respect his decision to stay out of the chaos. Honestly, I respect Ryan for staying quiet. Gypsy's life is a circus, and I don't blame him for not wanting to be part of it, one viewer shared. Others find his absence suspicious. Even if he's not involved, you'd think he'd want to make that clear. The silence just makes him look guilty, another argued. Whatever Ryan's reasons, one thing's clear. His silence hasn't gone unnoticed. Whether he's dodging drama, bound by legal constraints, or simply uninterested, Ryan's quiet approach is adding yet another layer of mystery to an already tangled story. And as this saga unfolds, all eyes will be on Ryan to see if he steps into the spotlight or keeps letting his silence speak for itself.
Ken Urker's mother sticking up for Gypsy Rose in the comments. This was regarding Ken and Gypsy's birth post of their daughter Aurora, who was born Saturday, December 28th, but they announced it on New Year's. So somebody had commented on a post, said that girl needs to be behind bars for real. Somebody that knows Raina, who's Ken Urker's mother, commented, "She already did her time already. Now on parole, she's a sweet person, and he's Raina's son. Don't know if you remember her, but you met her at one of the B-Day pool parties." I wonder if this was a time Gypsy Rose claimed to go in a pool for the first time. So Raina has entered the chat. She says, "So have you met her? You know for a fact she has no remorse? You do not believe that a person can be wrong and do something bad, but learn to be good and move on. Being forgiven themselves? Wow, I suppose you're the second perfect human to ever exist. P.S. Do not mess with my granddaughter's birth post. That is all." So right now, Raina Urker, Ken's mother, does support Gypsy Rose, obviously, by those comments. But we'll see in the upcoming months.
So what do you think? Is Ryan hiding something? Or is he just smart to stay out of the drama? It's clear this whole situation is scandalous. And the best part? It's only getting juicier. Trust me, this is just the beginning. The messiest reveals are coming soon. And we're all on the edge of our seats waiting for the next twist. So mark your calendars, because January 6th is just around the corner, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Will Ryan be confirmed as the baby daddy? Is Ken just along for the ride, or is he playing a bigger role in this messy drama? And can we even trust anything this family says anymore? You better believe we'll be keeping a close eye on this, because something tells me this story is just getting started.
So I have a question for everyone who is saying that Gypsy Rose was not a victim of Munchausen by proxy by her mother. Everybody who's been defending Dee Dee Blanchard, people are now saying that there was absolutely no medical malpractice done. Her mom did not have Munchausen by proxy. Everything that she had done, going under anesthesia over 100 times, everything was because her chromosome disorder. And this is because someone on YouTube claims that they were a nurse, and they then decided to diagnose her medical records and say how everything was completely valid because of this very, very rare chromosome disorder. And there's a huge bandwagon of people now who believe this, and it's absolutely mind-boggling to me, because if you use even the tiniest bit of common sense, defending Dee Dee Blanchard makes no sense. So let's just pretend that all of her surgeries and everything just had to do with her chromosome disorder. Why was she walking while she was a toddler and young child and then put in a wheelchair? If you say it's low muscle tone, that's not what Dee Dee said. And low muscle tone doesn't develop like that after a child's already been walking just fine. Dee Dee said she had to be in a wheelchair after she broke her leg after a car accident, which was really just scrapes. She would also tell certain doctors certain places that she was paralyzed from the neck down, certain that she was paralyzed from the waist down. So how does that make sense? Second, why did Gypsy never go to school? Her mom told everyone she was homeschooling her. But if she had all of these delays and problems with this chromosome disorder, why wasn't she in special education? Why, when they would go to home, she would say that Gypsy was attending whatever school was in the area? Why, if everything she was getting done in the hospitals was just for her chromosome disorder, why was she telling everybody that she had leukemia, muscular dystrophy? Are all of the people that Dee Dee told she had leukemia to, including Gypsy's father and stepmother, are they lying? This is clear evidence of Munchausen by proxy. People that were saying her teeth were removed because they were so rotten. She was very, very, very young when she got her teeth removed. If you look at pictures of her, she looks like she's like 5. Why would she have a feeding tube? She told doctors that Gypsy had a fear of eating, along with a million food allergies. Gypsy said, I never had a fear of eating. I loved to eat. She just wouldn't let me. Feeding tubes are such a common part of people with Munchausen by proxy. Look up the Lacey Spears case. The feeding tube that she had for her son, Garnett, was how she killed him. This gives the caretaker with Munchausen by proxy ultimate control over what medication, what food, everything that is going into their body. They also have this tendency to come up with crazy food allergies. So Dee Dee said Gypsy was allergic to sugar. Lacey Spears also said that about her son. She said that he had to be a raw, gluten-free vegan. And when other people would babysit him and feed him, he would eat everything, even though she said he had a fear of eating, couldn't eat anything. Same thing. This was also a mother with Munchausen by proxy. And even if she was getting treated for all of these issues related with her chromosome disorder, she did not have any of these problems. She never had any symptoms that would lead her to need all of these things that her mom said she would. She never had seizures, but she was on seizure medication to keep her very, very calm and quiet, exhausted, motionless. And one of the last things her mom was going to do was get her larynx cut, which could have made her lose her voice forever. You seriously think that's a real problem that she needed to have taken care of? No. So use some common sense when you think that Gypsy was the one manipulating everyone here and that Dee Dee was a victim. Dee Dee constantly lied about what was going on with Gypsy, what she had going on with her health, and isolated her from everyone. Munchausen by proxy 101.
All right, my loves. That's all the hot tea we have for today on Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her never-ending saga of lies, drama, and baby daddy mysteries. Is the baby Ryan's? Will we ever get to the bottom of this? Stay tuned, because the next video is sure to leave you all gasping. And don't forget, leave a like on the video, drop your thoughts in the comments section, and click the subscribe button so you never miss a video.